Welcome back to another episode of Red Hawk Media. Today we're in After Effects and we're looking at how to animate text. Let's get started. I've got two layers of text here. I've got the Red Hawk Media and the one-shot production stop. Okay, taking a look at what we did here very quickly is we've got no text. It's going to come in and swivel up and rotate and all kinds of fun stuff here. And this is just a beginning kind of intro to how to rotate and maneuver text in a basic 3D capacity. So let's get started with this. Let's go up to Composition. Let's go to New. And we're going to keep all the settings the same, 1080, 29.97, all that stuff, and OK. Now, first we're going to create our text layer. Grab the text tool and go ahead and type. Here we go, Red Hawk Media. And that looks pretty good right there. So we've got a Red Hawk Media text, and we'll do kind of a bigger version of this so you can see what's going on here. The previous one that I created was kind of like a lower third. So let's maneuver this around here. Okay, let's go ahead and create our other layer of text while we're at it. Actually, we'll just do this one and then we'll duplicate it here to keep it simple. So Red Hawk Media, let's get our red font going on there. And there's that color, and get our red in here, and OK. Alright, and now we're ready to go. Now from here, this is going to become a 3D text layer, so I'm going to check the 3D box. Okay, and that is going to change this up here where now my renderer is going to be a Ray Trace 3D. And all we're doing is the rotation. We're not going to extrude the text or anything like that yet. We're just going to start off with the basics. Now, I have to think about what I'm going to animate and how I'm going to animate it, because one of the things that you probably will want to position initially, I'm going to change my resolution here because it's going to be slow otherwise, down to a third. That's a good recommendation if you've got a slower video card, slower processor. Switch this down so that you can move things around quicker. Alright, now, the tool that I just grabbed is a pan tool. Okay, and what that's going to allow me to do is actually move my anchor point of where this is going to rotate. So if I want to do like a basic rotation where this is spinning around this rotation point, everything is going to work around here. Okay, and just a little bit of explanation about the axes here. We'll take a look at a little picture that I made. Okay, hopefully that clears everything up about the axes and that. The animation that I'm going to do, I'm going to require the axes to be over on the side here. Okay, because it's going to swivel in from the R, so the R is like the hinge here. And this is how it works. We drop this down with the text layer selected. I go to Transform, and now I've got all these nice rotation features in here. And if you know your basic geometry, this can move pretty quickly. So we're going to say that we want to rotate it around the y-axis to begin with. Before we do that, though, we're going to flip it so that it is face down here. So we're going to rotate it around the x-axis at 90 degrees. So now this is laying pretty much flat. Okay, and what we want to do is then get this off screen. So I'm going to go ahead and take the now Z rotation, and I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees so that it's exactly the opposite direction. Now, I don't want this showing up right at the very beginning, so I'm going to drag my text layer in for a little bit here so that, boom, it all of a sudden just shows up. Okay? So now, at that point where it shows up, get right exactly to the frame where it happens. I'm using page up or page down to move forward. Okay, right at this point, I want it to actually begin its animation. Now, anything that's going to be animated here, I want to click the stopwatch for. So if I'm rotating around the x-axis, yes please, the y rotation, and then the z. Okay, that way if any changes are made, it will record them. The first one is from this point in just a few frames time. Let's go page down, move in here, and then I can always adjust these anchor points a little bit later. And if you want to see more detail what's happening, you can stretch this out down in the magnification thing here for your timeline. And now, on the Z rotation, I want this to rotate in. So we'll put it back to the 0. Okay, and now I want it to come back up after it's been there for a while. So we're going to say that this is going to rotate up at That's going to stay there. And we create another keyframe here for the X rotation so it stays like that. And now in just a few short frames, it's going to flip down. So I'm going to take this and put it back to 0. Or actually, it's flipping up. Boom. There we go. So now, very basically, we've got this rotation where it rotates in flat, face down, and now it's going to flip up. Boom. There we have it. Now, I can adjust the timing of any of these just by grabbing the keyframe and dragging them out a little bit more. So if I want the reveal of Red Hawk Media as it kind of flips up here to be more dramatic, I can space that out a little bit more, and you get the idea here. Okay. If I want it to rotate in a little bit slower or a little bit faster for that matter, I can just change that keyframe. So I can grab this bottom one here, move that in so it happens really quick. Boom. Okay. Now if you hit the spacebar, it'll render over this. And it's only at a 3rd resolution, so it's not going to look pretty. Okay, and it goes through the paces here, and then I'll be able to view it. Now, keep in mind, it's still not 100% in real time. Okay, unless you've got a ridiculously fast graphics card, which we don't here. Okay, and you get the idea. Now I can go ahead and preview this. There we go. Alright, so at this point, if I like the timing of everything here, I'm going to save myself a whole lot of work, and I'm just going to grab this layer, and I'm going to hit Command D to duplicate it. Now on the second layer, let's go ahead and move that out of the way so we can see the spacing, see what we're working on. Then we're going to grab our text tool, highlight everything in there, and delete that out of there. And then I'm going to change the font size down now. To something more reasonable here that will actually allow me to fit everything in there. Okay, and I'm going to type in the one-shot production stop. And there we have it. Now, I believe in the one that I showed you, this was a white text, so I'd switch that up really quick here. And we've got that. And if I want to be more precise with my adjustments in the future here, I can go ahead and adjust that. Grab the hand tool to drag this up. I still have the text selected when I clicked H. And let's go ahead and go like this. Alright, I've missed our T, and I've got some typing errors in there. Let's get that fixed. Production, boom, and the. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and scale this up a little bit. Get back to the pointer tool. Okay, so let's go ahead and scale this. I hit the S, and we're going to scale it up a little bit so that it matches the Red Hawk Media size right in there somewhere. Okay, and then we'll position this, and boom. Now the nice thing about duplicating this layer, if I take a look at everything that's going on underneath here, it's got all of the same things going on here. They're going to happen exactly the same time together with the timing. If I want to put them on a delay, again, I can come back here and I can select all of these at once, and then I can drag them over a little bit so the one-shot production stop will be on a little bit of a staggered start there. And then it'll go ahead and render this, and it'll end up looking like the example that you saw at the beginning here. So this is kind of a quick beginning to learning your X, Y, and Z rotation of text and how you can rotate them in a 3D kind of manner. Okay, it's pretty handy for creating some nice little intros and outros if you're into lyric videos, or if you just want to create a clever lower third that's a little bit out of the ordinary or more than the basic lower third. This is how you can go about that. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Red Hawk Media, and we'll see you next time. Bye.